What is up, guys? We're back with the Lions Den Sports Podcast, ready to cover some Week 7 NFL action as well as Southeastern football. We got some on our screen. Get rid of that real quick. But I'm Chase Gispert alongside.
I'm Troy Allen.
And, man, let's get into it. So, first off, we'll start with Southeastern. Another really disappointing loss. 0-7 now for the first time since 1971 in football. It looked good early. They're up 10-3.
Yeah, it did.
Then Lamar had 20 unanswered. Really, the four first half turnovers. Mm-hmm. You're hearing that right. did Southeastern in. They're able to come back, and they actually outscored Lamar 14-0 in the second half. But obviously, you got to play for 4 quarters, and they wound up losing 30-24. Ultimately, couldn't overcome the 30-10 halftime deficit they dug for themselves.
Yeah. So, about that game, Southeastern, they showed glimpses of, the good team that it could be. Like you said, in that second half, outscored Lamar 14-0. And we looked good. Offense looked good. Zach, he did play most of the second half, I believe, because something was wrong with
Eli got shaken up, his shoulder. One of his 3 turnovers in the first half resulted on him getting injured, unfortunately for him.
Yeah, and so Zach, he did get to start in the second half, was 12 of 18, 141 yards and 58 rushing yards. He played a good game, but we definitely got to clean the turnovers. We've had a turnover in every single game so far this season. We haven't played a clean game yet. So heading into the game versus Northwestern, we definitely got to work on our turnovers. Mm-hmm. Another thing is though, Lamar, the quarterback and wide receiver duo, they killed us in our first half.
They did.
Quarterback for Lamar was I think he had 257 yards, and the wide receiver,
he was efficient.
Yeah, very efficient, 17 and 22. And Savani Ray?
Savon Ray.
Yeah, he had 133 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely got to glimpse of things defensively, and we just got to hold on to the football.
Yeah, I mean, it's a running theme every single week. It's just turnover 100%. After turnover.
100%, man. And like I said, there are glimpses of where our offense, looks productive. We scored on our first 2 possessions versus Lamar, and then those turnovers hit. I think late in the second half, Lamar, they went down, scored a touchdown, 23-10, and then a fumble or an interception on our first play of our next possession. Then they turn around 1-play touchdown drive. So we definitely got to clean up some things and stuff like that. In terms of,
I'm looking at these total yards. I thought that was right.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. I mean, that's crazy. See if it's 4 games. We have Houston Christian outgained us by a lot, but still, the last 3 games against Tarleton, UIW, and Lamar, Southeastern has outgained all 3 of those opponents in total yards, and I've lost all 3 of those games.
Insane,
because of the turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
Against Lamar, you had 4. All of them came in the first half. They had 0. You only lost by 6. I mean, shoot, you eliminate one of those, you could win.
Exactly.
Against UIW, it was 2-2 turnover battle, but we still outgained them. And then let's see, Tarleton State, I know for a fact we had way more than them. Yeah, we had 3, they had 1.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
By the way, in each of those games, the defense got a turnover and then they returned it for a touchdown.
Yeah.
So versus Tarleton State, it was a pick 6. Versus UIW, it was a fumble. It was a fumble
scoop
return.
and score.
Yeah,
and then same thing. That's
same
a great
thing versus
point.
Lamar. So all of our turnovers have led to scores for the other team, and every game we lost during this 3-game stretch had been by 1 possession.
Yeah.
So if you eliminate just 1 turnover, we either win the game or it's a tie game heading to overtime, and who knows what happens in overtime.
Right.
So we just gotta clean up those turnovers, man. That's it.
Definitely. Going into the Northwestern State game. Yeah, so the Southeastern game with Northwestern State obviously got moved up. Thoughts and prayers with Ronnie Caldwell and his family. Got moved up, I believe, because there's an article. Actually, your summary, I linked the article on why the game got moved up. I believe his funeral services are Friday and Saturday, so they wanted to play the game on Thursday. So we will Southeastern will travel to Natchitoches tomorrow to face Northwestern State at 7 p.m. We're 0-7. They're 0-5. So one positive, someone's going to come away with the victory.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's Southeastern, but we'll see. And yeah, that pretty much does it for SLU. Obviously, a very disappointing season coming off winning the title. This team is competing. That you can't say they've given up. It's just the turnovers, like we said. They're just finding ways to lose games. Exactly. The rest of the schedule, though, you play 0-5 Northwestern State, 0-6 McNeese, 1-5 A&M Commerce, and 2-3 Nichols. So, I mean, they are winnable games. We'll see if they could at least salvage the season and maybe win 2 of these next 4. Mm-hmm. We'll see. But, going into the NFL, so you get the Lion this week, sir. Troy.
Yes, sir.
Again, it came down to Monday night.
Shout out to the Cowboys, man.
That's what it was. I was thinking, what was the game? Yeah.
I've never said it before in my life, but the Cowboys pulled through.
I picked the Chargers. They didn't win. I thought it was a close game, but Cowboys pulled out the dub. So Troy edged me out. I think we're tied now 3-3.
Yeah,
right?
Tied 3-3.
And I think overall I'm 2 games ahead still, but I mean there's still like a lot of season left. Yeah. So it's also 3-3. It's like every other week. It just keeps going back and forth. But I think the biggest thing that stuck out, we both nailed our upset picks. I picked the Browns. I thought Deshaun Watson was going to play too. I didn't even realize he wasn't, and they still somehow won with P.J. Walker. But Browns over Niners, upset of the year. I don't know, but
Jake Moody. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Jake Moody
sold the game. But who was that? You picked a big upset too.
Yeah, it's Jets over.
Oh yeah, Jets over Philly. Jets. Jalen Hurts, man. I had him in 2 of my 3 leagues. My starting quarterback. 3 interceptions. I think he still wound up getting like 15 to 20 points, but like the brotherly shove just saves him every week. I swear, like it's just a free touchdown like every week. But yeah, I wasn't shocked. I picked the Eagles, obviously. I wasn't shocked, but yeah, man. The Jets defense, though, you got to give them credit, too.
100%. The Jets defense is single-handedly winning them games right now. 100%. But yeah, obviously, the 2 games versus the well, hold on. Obviously, there's no more undefeated teams now. Yes. Every team now has a loss. Specifically with that Browns and Niners game, I think the Browns somewhat kind of, and obviously he got a little bit of injury luck. CMC, he did go down with injury.
Debo as well, right?
Yeah, Debo and CMC went down with injury. But Kittle, man, here it is. 1 catch for 1 yard in that game versus the Browns.
I know.
And Purdy, Purdy, he did do good on that potential game-winning drive.
Last drive.
But like before that game-winning drive, I believe he was 8 for 22 for like 83 yards. So like for basically 58 minutes of the game, he was playing awful. He ended the game 12 of 27 for 125 yards, a touchdown, and I believe his first interception of the season or second.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I will say the Brown. He definitely didn't play good at all, but the Browns' defense is pretty dang good as well. 100%. We're shouting out the Jets. The Jets and the Browns probably have 2 of the best defenses in the entire league. Certainly the AFC.
And then speaking of defenses, a team that's absolutely destroying every defense in a way, the Dolphins, man. Mm-hmm. The Dolphins, they did go down 14-0, and I thought Adams' upset thing was like.
I saw that. I was like, "There's no way he's coming back."
I was like, "No way."
Yeah.
But
and
then
they came back.
Yeah, I think the Dolphins scored 42 unanswered points before the Panthers. Yeah, they won the game 42-21.
Yeah, they still wound up covering too.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, Tua versus the Panthers, 262 yards, 3 touchdowns. He's actually on pace for 5K yards and 40 touchdowns on the season.
That's crazy. Tyreek's on pace for 2,300, I think I saw. That's insane.
Yeah, 2,300 yards.
That would break the single season record, right?
Oh, it would smash it. The single season record was set by Calvin Johnson with 1,900.
So Cooper Kupp in 21 and Jetta's last year, they were like,
they were
kind of close.
Yeah. Cooper Kupp came 50 yards shy. Jay Jetta's was 100 or so yards shy. But if Hill keeps up this pace, he's going to smash that record by 400 yards. That's basically 3.
That's insane.
That's basically 4 full games of football. assuming you get 100 yards in each.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, like I said, he's on pace for 2,300 yards and 17 touchdowns. Could possibly be the best duo right now in the league. I know there are guys like, I know Jalen and AJ Brown, they're starting to click. If you look at AJ's last 4 games, they're phenomenal.
Yeah, since he kind of gave Hurts an earful on the sideline. I forget which was that, the Vikings, one of the games.
Yeah, it was after week 2, and then ever since then he hasn't gone below 130.
And it's kind of funny because I don't have either one. I have Hurts, so it doesn't really matter to me who's doing well. But one of my friends has Devontae Smith, and he was going off the first 2 weeks, and then it's like ever since Brown like kind of set him straight. Yeah, it's like he's like, yeah, okay, you're my one, and now Smith's kind of faded a little bit, but
it's all good though. They're final one. They'll be all right. But and going back to the duos, I know that there's Travis and Mahomes.
Yeah.
Obviously, they've been very successful over the last couple of years, but I think at the current stage, Tua and Hill might be like the best 1-2 punch in NFL right now.
I would agree.
And then we gotta talk about that Saints game, man. That Texans versus the Saints.
Fire Pete Carmichael, please. Just, I mean, for any of you who are watching, I don't even think it would take a genius to see. And we're not trying to act like we know it all. I mean, we follow sports a good bit. Obviously, we like to talk about it, but I mean, we're for sure not coordinators by any means. But still, I mean, you could see how the play calling is not up to par if you're a Saints fan, and it's just frustrating, man.
It really is.
Changes need to be made ASAP. I don't really know what else to say. I mean, we're throwing it behind the line of scrimmage on 4th and 5. I'm so tired of the checkdowns. And then he does he goes to the next extreme when we had, I think we threw 4 straight incompletions. I think we're like all 4 to the end zone.
They were.
Like you could get a first down and we had a timeout.
Yes, 30 seconds left. You had the ball in plus territory, a timeout too, and you had just 4 straight shots to the end zone.
And they weren't even close. Like, at least 2 of them were way out of bounds. I don't know. You saw Carr getting heated after the game and getting on Carmichael, rightfully so. I mean, Carr hasn't played well either. Now, I don't know if that's the play calling's just that bad, but, I mean, I think he deserves some blame too. He has not performed up to what Saints fans expected. And one thing I'll say as well, the O-line's terrible.
Oh, yeah.
That's a big issue. It's people don't really, I don't know, I feel like they don't think about the O-line as much. They just think about quarterback, coach, receivers, running backs, whatever. But if you have a terrible O-line, I mean, that's the basis of your offense. It just ruins a lot of stuff.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. And, like, last episode we talked about, you know, how like there was like a lot of talent on this Saints offense, obviously from Olave, Rashid Shaheed.
Yeah, it's all skill position players, not the O-line.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, with all that talent on that roster, the Saints have only managed 20 points only twice this season.
It's
obviously,
terrible.
that blowout versus New England, and then week 2 versus the Panthers. The rest of the 4 games, they haven't even cracked 20. It's been 13
They're wasting
points,
that defense away
16
too.
points.
Because the Saints, we still have one of the best defenses in the league.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're 3-3. So.
Yep, and C.J. Stroud, obviously he's been great the whole year, but he was 13 for 27. It's not like he, you know, it's not like he was like lights out the whole game. But speaking of the Texans, real quick, before the season started, I wasn't that high on them, but like not only are they competitive, but like they're like sneaky good too.
Yeah, I know. They can make a wild card push. They're still. 100%. I think the Jags they're only a game behind the Jags, I believe, right?
Yeah.
For first place.
Yeah, only
they
game
beat
behind
them
the Jags.
head up already this year too in Jacksonville. So.
And who knows what's gonna happen with like other tough divisions, like like the AFC North, for example. A team could miss a playoffs in that division. So. Speaking of teams and stuff like that, who do you think who do you think has like the best team in the league so far through 6 weeks?
I saw the top 4 obviously all one losses, the Dolphins, Chiefs in the AFC, and then you got the Niners, Eagles in the NFC. Honestly, I think man, it's really tough. Those are all 4 elite teams. That could very well be the 2 conference championship matchups.
Oh, yeah,
it's looking like it for sure so far. hot take. I'm predicting. I think I said it on one of our past episodes. I'm predicting Dolphins Niners Super Bowl.
Same
And
here.
I actually like the Dolphins, man. I don't want to spoil. I actually do think the Eagles will beat them at home. Well, I think that's Sunday Night Football. That's going to be an awesome game. Finally, a good primetime game. We
100%.
hope it doesn't. They don't
100%.
somehow turn into the Giants and the Bears or whatever. But it should be a really good game. I do think they'll lose that one, but I'm going to go with them. I just think they're so explosive. Their defense is coming around as well. I don't know. I think they're just a tough out. I'm gonna go with the Dolphins personally, but it's kind of, you could interchange 1 through 4.
Yeah, I agree that offense is crazy. Obviously they have a 1-2 punch at receiver with Hill. We just talked about him and Waddle, and then their 1-2 punch with the running backs too.
Yeah, and A-Chain's not even healthy right now.
Exactly, and they have
Mostert's just going crazy.
As a matter of fact, Mostert's also on pace for 1,600 yards.
That's
ridiculous. So they have 2 running backs on pace for 1,500 yards. So yeah, they have obviously a phenomenal offense. Like you said, the defense is getting better week by week. So yeah, I like the Fins as well. But then now let's roll into some week 7 preview real quick and with the fantasy and stuff like that.
All right.
So to start off real quick, my fantasy starts. I got Terry McLaurin versus the Giants.
Hope he does good. I got him at my 2 or my flex, I think.
So yeah, I'm liking that matchup a lot. The Giants, they've been pretty terrible all year long. Really.
They actually played the Bills. So can we say that was a clear PI on Darren Waller?
Yeah, it was.
The Giants kind of got robbed a little bit. Now, I mean, obviously they would have still had the score.
Yeah.
On the Monday Night Football, but I was surprised they kept it that close with the Bills.
Here.
But yeah, they've been awful all year, so I agree with that.
Then I got Kelsey versus the Chargers. I think he'll have another great game. I think he had close to 130 yards in his last game.
He's really starting to pick it up.
Yeah, 100%. He had a slow start to the season, so I think he continues that momentum. And then obviously Taylor Swift might get the game to give him some extra superpowers. It is in LA too. I think he's in LA.
The cameras are gonna be on them the whole time.
Yeah, 100%. And then I got a quarterback here, Trevor Lawrence versus the Saints. I think Lawrence is gonna have a really great game against that Saints defense. He's starting to pick it up over the last couple of weeks. The Jaguars are on a little bit of a winning streak right now. So yeah, give me those are my fantasy starts off on my starts real quick.
My starts, I'm gonna go. What's the word? I guess combo. I feel like there's a word though when you kind of do the same. Oh, a stack. Yeah, I'm gonna do a stack. I got DK and Geno Smith both having really good games against the lowly Cardinals in Seattle. DK's kind of been inconsistent this year. Geno's really spread the ball around a lot. Tyler Lockett's doing good. JSN's starting to come on a little bit. Kenneth Walker's been having a great year running the ball, but I think DK finally has like a monster vintage DK Metcalf game, and I think Geno, I'm gonna say he throws for 250 plus and 3 touchdowns, or at least 2, and I think Seahawks will take care of him. And then my other start, I got Pacheco, also against the Chargers. He's been quietly having a really good season. And yeah, he's a good player, and that Chargers defense is not very good, so I expect that to be a high-scoring game.
Yep, and for my sits this week, I got Jerry Jeudy versus the Packers. Not only has Jeudy just been really, not
Steve
good.
Smith said it.
Yeah, he had that almost a 2-minute rant on Jerry Jeudy, but he's just been not good. But that game overall, I think it will just be pretty bad. And then speaking of that game. On the flip side, got Jordan Love versus the Broncos. He's been disappointing.
Shouldn't be fantasy friendly.
Yeah, and then Najee Harris versus the Rams. I don't think that'll be. I think that's gonna be another low scoring game as well.
I dropped him like a month ago.
Yeah.
He's really disappointing. I don't know if it's all him or Matt Canada, but Steelers' offense is not it right now. Now y'all do get Deontay Johnson. Is he gonna play this week? Yeah. That is a huge because now you have 2 legit receivers because it's been Pickens all year 100%. As the only one.
And hopefully I think Pat Fryer is still out, but we do get Deontay Johnson back. Yeah. But sit down on Najee Harris if you still have him. Yeah. And then my lock of the week, I do have the Niners with a bounce back win over the Vikings.
It's in Minnesota, but yeah, I don't see.
Yeah, exactly. Last week, the Vikings offense, I think they only scored 12 points without Justin Jefferson. I know they had a defensive touchdown, but like the offense specifically only scored 12 points.
Right.
So yeah, give me the Niners over the Vikings in a huge bounce back win. Look for Purdy and Kittle to have huge games specifically, especially with injuries to Debo and CMC.
So my sits of the week goes right in hand with your lock. I'm saying another stack of sits. Alexander Madison and Kirk Cousins. Madison's been decent. He's been solid for PPR as like a flex or an RB2. I've been playing him, but I'm sitting him this week against San Fran. I think they're going to be already have arguably the best defense in the league, and after losing to the Browns, I think they're going to be fired up, wanting to make a point on the road. And no Justin Jefferson. I'm not confident in Kirk Cousins or Madison or any of the Vikings really having that great of a game. I am playing Jordan Addison kind of because I have to. He might be good just because I know the Niners' secondary is actually not as great as you'd think statistically. It's more their front. But, yeah, I'd still have a hard time starting any Vikings with any confidence. And then I also got kind of contrary to what you were saying about the Jaguars beating the Saints. I've had Calvin Ridley all year, and he's so hit or miss. You probably can't afford to sit him, but Marshawn Lattimore is probably going to be on him. The Saints do have a really good secondary, one of the best in the league. Sure. If you have anyone you could play over Ridley on a short week, usually it seems like those Thursday night games aren't fantasy friendly either. And the way the Saints are, it's probably going to be low scoring. But yeah, I would try to find other options. And then you said your lock of the week. So my lock of the week is going to be Bills over the Patriots. It's on the road, but the Pats are like, 1-5, 1-6, whatever they are. They're just awful. And I think the Bills will want to, even though they hung on against the Giants, I think they'll want to bounce back, and I think they'll play a lot better on offense.
Did you see what happened in that Raiders game? Matt Jones taking that sack in the end zone for the safety.
Oh yeah, I mean,
yeah, that's
that epitomizes their season.
Yeah, that's back-to-back years now. They just falling apart versus the Raiders specifically, kind of crazy. And then my upset of the week, give me the Steelers or the Rams. The Rams are a 3-point favorite. So yeah, give me the Steelers over the Rams, 16-10. That's yeah, not much of a fantasy friendly game, but yeah, I'm taking the Steelers over the Rams for my upset of the week.
My upset of the week, this is probably another crapshoot type game, although I'd much rather watch the Rams and Steelers in this, but I got the Bears beating the Raiders in Chicago for their second win of the season now. We looked it up. Justin Fields is, I think, he's definitely not playing. Garoppolo is probably not either, so it's going to be backup quarterbacks. I think Aiden O'Connell, the rookie's the Raiders quarterback. I know he threw a costly pick against the Chargers. I'm not going to lie, I don't even know who the Bears quarterback is, but give me the Bears anyway at home. I say they grind out an ugly win. I'm going to say 17-13, Bears win.
Not bad.
And then I guess what's next, starting the picks for the week?
Yeah.
Yeah, so or did we give our ice colds yet?
Oh, no, we haven't.
Okay, my ice cold, and this goes into Thursday night football. I'm dogging on my Saints. I have no real logic to this, but it's a short week, Thursday night football. I'm going to say the Saints offense, ready for this, scores 3 offensive touchdowns and beats the Jaguars 21-17. That's my ice cold take of the week. And that's how bad, you might think 21 points if you haven't really paid attention. That's how bad the Saints offense has been this year, where 3 offensive touchdowns and 21 points is like almost far-fetched.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. I mean, I hope it comes true. It is in the Dome, right, I think?
Or is it
yeah.
Okay,
it's
in the Dome.
It is, so Dome Field, hopefully that helps.
Yeah, not a bad pick. My ice cold take goes with my upset pick. Steelers defense prevails in LA. They hold Cooper Kupp to under 100 yards because he's been going off his first 2 games back. Matt Stafford has 3+ turnovers in this game, and Alex Heisman and T.J. Watt combined for 5 sacks.
I could see that. Shoot, I got the Steelers defense, so I'm not complaining about that one. Yeah. I do have Cooper Kupp though, so I guess double-edged sword there.
But yeah, that's my ice cold take, and now we can go into win-loss predictions. Real quick.
So Troy won last week. He gets the line.
Yes, sir.
I want to show the camera. Like we said, I think beginning of this episode, we're 3-3 now. I think I'm 2 games ahead overall, but it's neck and neck. It's been a great little rivalry brewing
Yeah.
this season.
100%.
But to pick it up, so Thursday Night Football, Jags at the Saints. Jags are 4-2, Saints 3-3. I'm going to go with my Saints, probably a homer pick, but I said my high school take they score 3 offensive touchdowns. I'm going to say they win 21-17 in a close one.
And I got the opposite. I got the Jags over the Saints 27-17. Like I said, I do have Lawrence at the start. I think he'll have a field day. Like this will be like the first time the Saints defense really gets tested.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's my pick.
He is the best quarterback we faced all year for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, so then the next we're going into the noon games on Sunday. Colts at home against the Browns. I'm gonna go Colts. Anthony Richardson I think's out for the year. They are underdogs at home. Cleveland's riding high off of that huge upset win over San Fran. That I actually called last week, so now I'm switching up on him a little bit. I think Deshaun's actually coming back, right?
It's not likely.
It's not likely.
It's according to a report, I believe by Adam Schefter. His status is
it's up in the air. Okay.
Yeah, it's up in the air.
Give me the Colts at home. I think it's just kind of human nature. Browns have a huge win over arguably best team in the league, Niners, and they go on the road against the Colts and lose. I think Minshew Mania has a solid game against that vaunted Browns defense, and I say the Colts win in a close one in Indy.
And for the second straight game, I'm going to opposite. I think the Browns continue to ride that wave a little bit. I have them beating the Colts. Minshew, he's going to struggle against that Browns defense just like Purdy did. I have a weird score though. I'm gonna go with the Browns 19-9. Weird score.
19-9.
Yeah, weird score.
Honestly, that's weird because I was thinking 19-14 Colts. I would say 19-14. But keeping with the noon games, Bills over Pats. That was my lock of the week, so obviously you know where I'm going. I think the Bills handily win in New England.
Oh yeah, I agree. Giving the Bills over the Patriots to drop another 1-6 on the season.
Yeah,
Ugh.
Belichick on the hot seat. I don't know. Bill O'Brien for sure though is. And then Commanders at the Giants. This is a weird one. Commanders 3-3, not really anything impressive. Giants 1-5. Are coming off a valiant effort at home against the Bills. I was tempted to pick the Giants, but I'm gonna go Washington. Probably an ugly game. I don't even know what the score would be. I guess 21-13 Commanders.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with that, but I'll say Commanders win.
Yeah, I agree. I got the Commanders over the Giants. Again, Terry McLaurin is my start. I think you have a field day versus the Giants. So yeah, give me the Commanders 23-9.
Dude likes the 9.
Yeah.
and then Bears Raiders. That was my upset of the week, so I'm gonna go Bears in an ugly win in Chicago. Battle of the backup quarterbacks. I mean, dude, I can already see the memes from that game coming out. So it's probably gonna be a slot fest. But give me the Bears by a field goal.
And give me the opposite. Give me the Raiders over the Bears. I think Max Crosby has a field day. I'm looking for him to get 2+ sacks versus the Bears and that backup quarterback. So, yeah, give me the Raiders over the Bears in that close, ugly game.
And then 2 more noon games. We got the Lions at the Ravens. Lions 5-1, Baltimore 4-2. Ravens are a 3-point favorite at home, so that means it'd be even line on a neutral field. Give me the Ravens. This is my second week. I picked against the Lions last week. That did not work. They blew out the Buccaneers. I really like the Lions and Dan Campbell. But I think Lamar Jackson has a bounce-back game. It'll probably be low-scoring because that Lions defense is good. But I think the Ravens will just eke out a win in Baltimore.
I kept going back and forth with this, but I'm going to go with the Lions or the Ravens in a very close game. This one can go. This one could go either way. Like I said, this should be a great game as well. But yeah, give me the Lions over the Ravens 24-20.
And then Falcons at the Buccaneers. Falcons are 3-3. Bucks are 3-2 with that early bye week. Coming off that, really got their butts handed to them. I think 20-6 at home against the Lions. I don't think they lose back-to-back at home. It is a division game. It should be close, but give me the Buccaneers in the close one in Tampa Bay.
I agree. Give me the Bucks over the Falcons, 100%.
And then afternoon games, we got Seattle home 3-2 home against 1-5 Cardinals, coming off a tough loss at Cincinnati where their red zone offense was atrocious. Really kind of should have beat the Bengals. They're an 8-point favored at home. Give me the Seahawks comfortably. And like I think I said, start DK and Geno. So yeah,
I got Seattle. I agree with that. Seahawks over the Cardinals pretty easily.
And then we got the Rams hosting your Steelers. Your Steelers are 3-2, fresh off a bye week. Do get Deontay Johnson back this week. Rams 3-3. I think they beat the Cardinals pretty handily last week. But I kind of went back and forth. I'm gonna go with the Rams at home. But I wouldn't be surprised either way.
Yeah, like obviously you guys don't know my pick. Give me Steelers over the Rams 16-10. Got that ugly game, but at least I get to watch T.J. Watt and Alex Smith do some damage, hopefully, to the LA offense.
Yeah, and their O-line's been shaky the last couple of years. So.
Exactly.
And then the last afternoon game. I'm sorry, we got two more on the slate. This is another one. It's Packers at the Broncos. Packers 2-3 coming off a bye. Broncos 1-5. They play Thursday night, so I have a little extra rest as well. Played the Chiefs pretty tough. At least their defense played better than they have been all year. I wouldn't be surprised if Broncos won, but give me the Packers off a bye week. I think Jordan Love and Christian Watson do just enough for the Packers to get an ugly win in Denver.
Yep, and I'm going with the reverse, giving the Broncos over the Packers. Like I said, this is an ugly game. It could go either way. Both teams are pretty awful. But Russell Wilson might do just enough to get the win over the lowly Packers, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. And then Chargers at the Chiefs. Give me the Chiefs at home. It is a divisional game. It just seems like Kansas City owns L.A.
Oh, yeah.
And they're coming off they get a longer week of rest because they played on Thursday night. So I think they'll win in Kansas City. I wouldn't be surprised if the Chargers make it close. But
I think they will. I think they'll jump out to like an early lead and the Chiefs will come
typical
back as
Chargers. And then Sunday Night Football, game of the week, hands down, Dolphins, 5-1 Dolphins at the 5-1 Eagles in Philly, Sunday Night Football. You could make an argument it could be a Super Bowl preview. But I know I said the Dolphins best team in the league. I do think they're going to lose, though, to the Eagles. I think the Eagles are going to bounce back after, I don't want to say embarrassing. I know the Jets have a good defense, but against Zach Wilson, and I think they were like 11-0 in history against the Jets. They had never lost to them, so I think they're going to be hungry. Sunday Night Football, prime time, against the Dolphins flying high. Give me the Eagles, and give me the Eagles 28-24 in Philly.
I got the same exact score, but the opposite direction.
Okay.
I think the Eagles will drop their second straight game to the Dolphins. Tua and Tyreek will continue to dominate defenses. So, yeah, give me the Dolphins in a close one, 28-24, same score, just the other way around.
And then last one to round it off, no disagreements between us, 49ers at the Vikings. Vikings 2-4 without Justin Jefferson. I think the Niners roll 5-1. I don't see them losing two straight, and that defense is going to be fired up, I think, easily, after losing to Cleveland.
I agree. That's, like I said, that's my lock of the week, 31-13. Give the Niners over the Vikings pretty convincingly.
I'm going to say 28-17. 28-17. Niners win. Still cover. So that's all of our picks. Was there anything else we wanted to cover?
No, that's it.
Yeah, I believe
for
so.
this week. Yep.
Yeah, so those are our Week 7 predictions. A little Southeastern talk again. Lions fans, I know it's a tough season, 0-7, but in sports, you got to endure these seasons sometimes. We had a championship last year at Southland Conference, so it's kind of build character down the stretch for sure. Thursday, 7 p.m. in Natchitoches. If you can't make the game, I know I'm not going to make that drive, but 7 p.m. on ESPN+, I'll definitely be tuning in to hopefully the Lions' first win of the season. Mm-hmm. But that'll do it for the Lions Den Sports Podcast. I'm Chase Gispert.
And I'm Troy Allen.
And we'll see y'all next week.
Yes, sir. Peace.